Hello and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. We are so excited to be joined by a very special guest, hilarious comedian, actress, writer, podcast host. Her new special, The First Woman, is available on 800 Pound Gorilla now and out on YouTube. August 29th, Sashir Zamata, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Such a pleasure.
Yes.
It's so great to see you.
So good to see
we
you.
were talking about do we know each other from the comedy scene? We just, kind of seen each other around, and it's really great to see you. And the special's out now.
It's out now. It's very exciting. It's my second special, first one I produced, and it feels really good to have new stuff out.
Awesome. And what is it about? What are the themes?
Well, it's called The First Woman because this special is very woman heavy. It's I talk about women's health. I talk about my health. I talk about anatomy. I talk about women's history in America. It's very female forward. So I wanted a name that encapsulated that.
Love it. You're in the right place for that.
Yeah. It feels like it.
At Betches HQ. Now, the female health stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What is the, that's the, I like that. That's like the playlist of the album. The women's health stuff, what are you getting into specifically? Is it
a lot?
Yeah?
Yeah. I talk about, I myself was having some health issues. So I talk about my experience going to the hospital and talking to doctors and realizing that I'm one of many people who don't get listened to when we go to the hospital, and just talking about how women kind of have the same experience of not being believed when we're in pain or when we feel something, because doctors don't have the language to understand what we're talking about, or they just don't believe women because they're crazy.
Right.
Give them a vibrator. And
I just imagine you go to the hospital, all these male doctors just throwing vibrators.
Is that good? Is that good enough? Can you stop? So yeah, there's a lot of discussion about just how tactics I think that will help us get believed.
Right. I zone in on that because it comes up every now and again on this podcast, because we're the male female point of view. I'm always I have no relationship to doctors whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it feels very male to me to rub some dirt on it is kind of the old school thing to say. And it's do you think some of that comes the not believe, this is I'm giving an empathetic view of going, oh, throw some vibrators at, I don't believe you. It's do you think it's because those guys just don't do anything for themselves? That they're why would someone do something? I don't know. I'm trying to think.
But the thing is, they're doctors.
Right,
That's
right,
their
fair.
job. It doesn't
me.
matter if they take care of themselves.
Right.
I don't care what their own personal
Right.
journey is. It's for your job, you should be able to service anyone who comes into your door.
Right. If you go to the mechanic and
Yeah.
they're oh, you'd be well, the car doesn't work. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I don't want if a cleaning lady comes to my house and they're well, my house is dirty, so I don't know how to do this. Then you're bad at your job.
Yeah, right. Right. It's a good point. I was thinking just of myself, but you're right. That's why I'm not a fucking doctor.
And thank God.
Right. Thank God
That's the only,
for all of us.
That's the only reason.
Right. That's the only reason.
He's I passed all the tests.
Right. I just
Took the MCATs.
didn't really want to go into it. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's exciting to have a special. Having the material out there, I know the feeling of it's almost it takes stuff out of your brain.
Yeah, it feels like taking a test where it's just I just dumped it all out and now my brain's empty.
It's amazing. I'm sitting here, with you in the special land of things, putting out a special. Do you have a thought of what are people I get? Jordana and I have talked extensively of how anxious I am of just one person being I don't know. I have that in my head a little bit,
I don't think I care.
Right.
Good
for you.
Yeah, I don't, because I know people will like it, so I just want to concentrate on those people. And there's always gonna be people who are I didn't get it, or not for me, which is also great.
Right.
Go get your comedy somewhere else. That's fine.
That's not how the internet works, though.
It is not. I know. It's very black and white, or we hate it or we love it, which it doesn't have to be that way. It could just be I didn't love it, but Godspeed.
It could also be, you gave me a great Saturday night on the couch, which is this is what it's meant for. When we put out a special, we go, sit, have a laugh. We want to make sure you enjoyed it. We want you to come to a show in the future that you like. The greatest compliment in the world is someone watches Sasheer's special and goes, oh my God, I got a new comic that I can see, in the future and see what else they're working on, down the road, which is great.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, they're having a conversation. They're like, oh, that reminds me of a joke that Sasheer told, and they send it to their friend or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I want people to like have fun, enjoy it, maybe learn a little bit about me or themselves or whatever, and come see me live sometime.
Right.
Go see Sasheer live. She's hilarious. You got to go. You're going to love her.
So in your comedy career, is it ever weird if someone's like, don't talk about me on stage?
Oh, like in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom and I had a strange moment because I had a lot of jokes about her because she's very funny. Not on purpose, but she's funny. Like I had a joke about her in my first special because we were in the car and she has, the steering wheel covers? Like you put a cover on the steering wheel, and she would have like these really big, like
furry?
No, just sturdy. And
what is the point of those? What's the like?
I think better grip or something.
Okay.
But I feel like that's like when you're like driving or like you're like a driver, like a
NASCAR racer.
Yeah,
right.
Or like that's your job. Like you drive all the time.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like if you're just going to the grocery store, I don't know why you need like what's the risk?
Right. We don't put on like the carpal tunnel glove to text. Yeah, it does seem weird.
But she likes them. And then I guess we were having a conversation about them and she's like, you know why I like having these covers? And I was like, why? She's like, because it reminds me of grabbing a big dick. And I was like,
whoa.
Okay. Why are you talking to me like this?
This trip to CVS has changed.
Mom, that came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And she's always doing stuff like that. So I'm like, of course I'm going to talk about it on stage. You're wild.
Right.
But I think she got a little weirded out by it. And like, when I wrote new material, she was like, are there any jokes about me in there? And I was like, there aren't, but like, is that a problem? And she was like, no, it's fine. I just, just didn't know. And I was like, okay. And so now I'm just like avoiding it completely because I just don't want to make her feel weird.
Is she like a sex positive Is this kind of how she talks?
I would imagine
yes.
she's sex positive.
Well, right.
Yeah, she positively enjoys it. Yes.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. Even when I was younger, I remember like as a teenager walking with other friends and her like downtown in Indianapolis, and it smelled bad. The air smelled bad, and she was like, "Smells like two cats fucking." And I was like, "My friends, stop! Don't do that in front of them."
How do you know?
Also, how do you know?
Right.
Has that created a thing where you feel like less likely now to talk about sex, or much more comfortable talking about sex?
Interesting. I guess I am comfortable talking about sex like generally, I guess like anatomy or
right.
like the idea of sex or having sex. But I think personally I don't talk about like me having sex really. So I don't know. I guess it's like, maybe a prude in some ways and then very comfortable in others.
I was talking to someone else about this recently where it kind of feels like a lot of the times you get kids who seem like they're the opposite of their parents, and you're like, how are you brought up in that house? But sometimes I feel like parents take up so much of the energy of a certain like topic, or with my husband, he's so quiet and his parents are like loud. Sometimes his mom is like louder, let's say, where you kind of feel like you have to do the opposite.
Yeah.
To sort of, because there's no energy, there's no like space left.
Yeah, I think I did do that a little bit because when someone is so like takes up so much space, I'm like, I'll just chill. Just like
exactly.
I don't want to add to it or like compete.
Unless you're in the Freed family.
Right. And then we all just scream. Yeah. No, but I understand that, like, with family stuff, it's like different putties coming together and, like, kind of squeezing together and going, okay, I give them that spot. Mm-hmm. I take this spot. Exactly. I have my role here.
Yeah.
You have your role there. Yeah. And over the years, then you end up dating someone. They come into your life and they go, what the fuck is going on here? Right.
This isn't healthy.
Right. No, this is the way we have. Yeah. This is the way we've taped together this relationship.
Yeah.
Like, don't touch the tape. Yeah. It'll all fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very like shy when I was younger, to the point where when I became a comedian, my family was like, "So when did you think you were funny? Because we never heard you speak."
Right.
And I was like, I guess you wouldn't have, because in this environment, I don't feel like I can, or I don't know.
Right. Well, that how many times have you gone on stage and you like look at an audience, you're like, I'll look at them, I'll be like, doesn't feel like the place for me right now. I'm like, none of these people, they're here for a show, but they don't want to hear me speak.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is with family.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, I was never like I wasn't doing my performances for, my parents.
Right.
Growing up.
Well, that's almost like, it's funny when you're talking about like someone, your significant other coming in, seeing the way your family interacts with each other and having a lot of commentary. It almost feels like, you ever see that show, like those shows where like someone comes into the business and like Tabitha Salon take over, and they're like, you're doing the books, you're doing the books like this. Like, what are you doing? But it's like with the family dynamic.
Yes. Yeah.
So it can be, nothing really opens your eyes to your own family's dysfunction, I think, than someone else coming in and spending the holidays with you.
We're gonna play a game called Petty or Prudent. Okay. And this is new. This is our new game. It's the sensation that's taking over the UO podcast. People love it.
They do.
People are really getting into it. So
do they, or do it just I? I just keep talking about it. I'm not sure.
Well, we have all these scenarios today,
true.
so they must like it enough to keep sending us. So basically, a breakup happens, and you act in a certain way, and they're wondering if they're being petty or being prudent. Is it just you being a piece of shit, or this needed to be done? Have you ever been, had a situation where you get out of a relationship and you're like, I got to do this one last thing. I gotta, button it up, put the, the red bow on the top.
Have I? I don't think so.
Or generally, how are you after a breakup? Are you someone that's like, we gotta
vengeful?
have to yeah. What direction do you normally go? Because I'm someone.
Yeah.
I'm out of there. I pack my bag. I'm at the bus station, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a dating podcast, so I've always said, like, if Mike broke up with me, I would be like, I would talk about it forever. I would just never stop talking about it.
Yeah.
He would never be able to escape it.
We'd have to change the name to like Jordana's ex.
Yes.
I think I do like act like they don't exist anymore. Like
dead to you.
Yeah. I mean, that's like not like scorched earth, but just like, oh no, the world swallowed them whole, and I don't think they exist anymore.
So you eliminate like every reminder.
Yeah.
You block her.
I'm not a blocker, but it's like, why would you?
Right.
Why would you reach out?
Right. Well, there's the blocking. There's I've done the blocking, but it's been after a certain amount of time where it's like we have to enough already.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done the unfollow, unsubscribe. That seems to be the healthy
Yes.
diet and exercise. The advice we don't want to take. We always say in this, we've said it for years. Unfollow. And an unfollow doesn't have to be such an. It's not you running out of that. I think what people get confused with the unfollow and the muting is like it feels like you're like, and I'm out of here, and it's really you going, excuse me, and walking out and not saying anything.
It could be like self-preservation, because it's also like
Absolutely.
hard to keep getting reminders of this person.
Well, the biggest thing is on Instagram, the stories that go to the front are the accounts you interact most with.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
Who
see
do
it
you-
constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
So who have you interacted more than your ex?
Yeah.
Just when you were together. So now they're just like putting up a story of like, here's my lunch. And you're like, gotta look at the lunch.
Yeah.
Like, we used to have lunch together.
Right?
Exactly.
That's the lunch we order.
Yeah.
Good day.
So let's get into the game.
Yeah, let's read some scenarios.
We want everyone to go enjoy, watch Sashir's special. It is The First Woman. It's available on 800 Pound Gorilla right now. And it's out on YouTube August 29th. We want everyone to go watch, enjoy Saturday Night on the Couch. We've been talking about my special for weeks, and it's nice because we've gotten people used to.
We're gonna mix it up.
Right, we'll mix it up.
Yeah. Do a double nighter.
Double feature.
Double
Do a
feature. There
feature.
we
Do
go.
Barbieheimer it.
Right.
Who's Barbie? I think you're Barbie.
I think I'm Barbie.
I'll give you Barbie. I'm the bomb.
Yes. You don't want to be the bomb in a comedy special.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take this. No, it is like I've said for years that the comedy album is like the cousin to the podcast, because you you kind of listen, you know, you're alone, you got your headphones on, you feel like you're in the room with the people. And then the comedy album, you're like in the restaurant or comedy club. You can hear the, you know, the forks and knives, the wait staff. And then I would say like second cousin is the comedy special to the podcast because you get to watch it. You know, maybe if you watch on YouTube, that's actually the cousin. You know, like again, I'll make a whole family tree at some point for all the entertainment.
The genealogy of comedy.
Knock knock joke.
Right. Well, that's
the great grandfather.
That's funny. All right, let's get it. Let's play the game.
Let's do
Ready?
some scenarios. You want to read the first one?
I'll read the first one. Petty or prudent? I asked my ex to crop me out of his pics on the app. Hi, J&J. I just saw my ex of 7 months on Hinge. One of his pics was us together. I also saw he had the same pic on Bumble. This guy's everywhere. After giving it a thought for all of 5 minutes, I decided to break no contact and respond to the pic of us saying, I get that she's smoking hot, but you got to crop her out. It's a great message.
That's funny.
That's funny.
I think that's great.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then his response was, you're not wrong.
Okay.
And then she writes in caps, flirty. I assume he was referring. I assume he was referring to the smoking hot part. You're not wrong.
Okay.
He broke up with me, and I'm not over it. LOL.
Oh no.
I did restrain myself and did not respond to his message. What are y'all's thoughts? Does his response mean anything? Also, what are your thoughts about exes using pictures of you on their dating profiles? Sincerely, Unhinged on Hinge.
Wait, did she actually not go through with asking him to crop her out?
That was.
I guess that
That
was
was the
extent of her
intent, but then she
asking it.
got thrown off by the flirting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now she wants him back.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this changes everything. Actually,
Right. Oh, he was cool about it.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I
yeah.
think the you up etiquette rules would say no pictures with your ex on your current dating profile. I think that could be a rule, right?
I think so. It's strange.
I think if I saw a guy post a picture with someone and then and let's say we went on a few dates and then I found out that that was his ex-girlfriend, I would be like turned off by that. That's very weird.
Yeah, I'd be like, you don't have any other photos.
Right, crop them out.
Or just
Right.
crop them out.
That's still a little weird. I think to crop them out, but much better than them being in the picture.
Here's
Yeah.
the problem, and I agree with everything you guys are saying. There's no disagreement here.
Okay.
You're right. This is insane. Okay, to put up a picture of you and your ex
on a
and-
dating
on
app
a dating app, and to
that
not
they're
even
also on,
right 7-month relationship. You
Yes.
got to assume they're gonna go back to the Hinge well
where you guys met.
right.
Yeah.
So, but this just shows you how few pictures men take.
Oh,
right.
He's
yeah.
basically and how few pictures we know. We want woman-approved picture. This has everything built into it. I'm not saying he's right, but if you want to go into the mind of a murderer, he's like, this is a picture that woman who fucked me said is hot.
yeah.
And I don't have any other ones. Like, we don't like get together with my boys.
Right. It also
And
just
look
shows
nice.
you
Right.
how bad men are creating profiles.
Bad.
Like, I don't think it's good to put up. I don't even if it's a friend. I would suggest steering clear of a picture with someone. Like if you're straight of the opposite sex in your pictures, because I just think it's a little confusing.
Well, men
Yeah.
make profiles for other men.
Right.
Like, they're chugging beers, they're
But
funneling.
men aren't looking.
Yeah, but
Right.
I'm saying like
Yeah.
men make dating profiles to like get into the fraternity. Like he's like, look at this hot chick I banged. Like that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I can get this.
right. He's trying to like show like again, this is very like, mystery pickup artisty. It's like he's trying to show his value. Look how hot. Me with hot woman that I, whatever. But
I will say that does work.
that works.
I think, yeah, if I'm like, oh, that was your ex? Well, she's really
Right.
hot. Yeah,
That's fair.
like you have good taste.
You want to know your
I
own
want to have
league?
good taste. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not way off,
Yeah.
even though he's doing something that's way off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not classy. Like, I think, honestly, like, he's a little petty. Like,
You think he did that to be petty? Or
No,
just 'cause-
I think him writing back, like,
Yeah.
I would have scurried away like a mouse.
I think it's prudent of her to say that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not petty to be like, you should probably take me out of this picture. Although I guess would you care if you saw yourself in your ex's?
I think I would be like, "Well, that's weird." I don't know if I would say anything. I'd be like, "Oh, well, whatever." Like, best of luck. But
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be, especially if it was a good picture of me.
7 months. 7 months though, like this is like the relationship that never happened kind of thing.
Right.
Like I can understand why she's a little bit out of shape. Like she's like,
Yeah.
7 months. I'm still not over him. I go back on the app because we had this. Like he's like, I'm not ready for anything serious. Like I know the breakup that happened. I know everything that happened. Here.
Right.
Yeah.
And now she's a little, she's got a fresh wound, and she's like, now I see him, and then he writes back positively. And I guess my advice to her, she gets into like, what does that mean? That means he didn't care as much as you did about the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Very annoying. And that means he's basically saying, I'm here at the same spot you left me. So whatever the excuse was that he gave in that breakup still stands. That's still,
That's true.
and I think like that needs to be a warning to her. Like you wanted more at one point. That's why it ended.
Yeah. I would let it go.
You gotta
Let it
I
go.
wouldn't
Because
keep
also
fighting it.
he's not thinking, what does her text mean? He's like,
Yeah, he doesn't
whatever.
care.
He doesn't
Right.
care.
He's not even embarrassed.
He's like, oh,
I'd
she's
be
cool with the
embarrassed.
breakup.
I think I'd be embarrassed if my
Yeah.
ex saw a picture of me and them that I put up.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem embarrassed.
No.
Right.
I know a guy, divorced, used a picture of himself on the apps from his wedding day.
Oy.
Solo.
You see these every now. This
Solo.
is like, yeah.
So imagine coming across your ex-husband on the apps and there's a picture of him on your wedding day.
It's when he looked his best. It's the only picture he has. This kind of fits into what I was saying.
Photo.
Professional. Yeah, he's not going and getting headshots.
Boy.
He's like an accountant.
That's
He's
part
like-
of
he's
the
like-
picture.
he's
It's
like,
prudent, I guess.
I can commit.
Right.
This is evidence.
You see this.
Well, it's
right?
not, I guess it's not clear that it's his wedding day, but if you saw it, you would know.
Yeah, the wife, the ex, no.
Yeah.
She dressed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's like uncomfortable. Like that's it shows like the level of shame that is out. Like there's no shame.
There's no shame.
Would you rather see your ex on the picture of them? They've used the professional photographer's pictures from your wedding day, or you're in the picture?
I'd rather be in the picture.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Don't use the wedding day photos.
Right. Don't use this day, where we promise to love each other and be with each other forever, as a hot picture of you to have sex with someone else.
Wasn't I fuckable that day? It is also like what Sashir's saying. Like there's like a manipulation that you kind of are doing. I can commit. Look at maybe she's dead. Like that's like maybe
We
it's
don't
like,
know, yeah.
right. Like you're like,
Okay,
oh,
if
what
I-
a tragic story. If you go to the most,
If I die and Mike has a picture from our wedding day on his apps, I'm gonna like haunt the shit out of him. That is not acceptable.
What if it's from your funeral?
ooh.
I think worse. That's worse. I think that's worse.
That is worse.
That's much worse.
Also, that he's asking people to
Okay.
take pictures of him at my funeral.
Hey, get a good one of me
That
in
way,
front of
the
the
two of us,
casket.
so that if, in case someone Googles me, they can see that you're dead. I know that we're not currently married.
Let's do another one.
Let's do it.
Go for it.
They ask for their gift back. Hey, J&J, I have a good one for you. For my birthday, my boyfriend at the time bought me an Xbox. It was all wrapped up in a big box with a bow on it. That's a red flag in itself. Obviously a birthday gift. I'm not a gamer whatsoever, but basically he wanted me to have an Xbox at my apartment for when he came over and wanted to game.
This guy.
I bet
This guy's playing chess.
For her-
We're all playing checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
about 6 months after my birthday, we broke up. Shocking. A few for your birthday, I got you the Dyson Airwrap.
Right.
Jared.
Oh, thank you.
A few months later, we were both in new relationships. Out of the blue, months after our breakup, his friend texted me and said, "Hope you've been living decent." That's weird.
Decent.
Hey,
Living decent,
Not even well.
right? Just
The friend?
I mean, I guess that's honest. You don't want your friend's ex living well. You want them living
I hope you're
okay,
alive.
alive. Yeah.
I would. I wouldn't put that much thought in.
You don't even just say hi.
Hi. Hi! Exclamation point. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering when you're going to give Jim, my ex, his Xbox back. I was so annoyed, but I just ignored it. 2 days later, my ex texted me asking for it. He even said, "I'll pay for the shipping cost or can come pick it up." When we broke up, we said we would not give back gifts. What would I like it? That's also, how did that conversation
Right.
even come back? So what are we going to do with all the gifts?
Well, it seems like he really wanted this Xbox back.
Yeah, he probably brought that up
yeah.
Right? What do
for
we
the
do
Xbox. She's like, I guess nothing.
Right. He's like, what do we do about the gifts?
I don't know.
Just
She's like, we
'em.
keep them.
Keep them, I
Oh,
guess.
fuck.
What would I do with all the stupid shit I gave him anyway? So I told him it was a gift and I wasn't giving it back. Then I blocked him and his friend immediately. I still have the Xbox and only ever use it for streaming, but hey, it's the principle of the matter. Sincerely, no give backs. I think it is very petty to ask for your Xbox that you got for someone's birthday that wasn't really even a real birthday present for them back. So I would say petty.
Yeah.
Sashira, what do you think?
I do think it's petty to keep it. Like,
Interesting.
she doesn't need it. She didn't even want it.
That's
so,
true.
And he paid for it. So
But it's
I
for
mean-
her. He paid for it for his gift
Well,
for her.
and
he
it's a little
paid for
bit-
it for
right.
him. I'm
Well-
sure in his mind he was like, she wants to spend more time together, so I'll get the Xbox so I can be over there all the time.
This is
Quality
really a favor.
time.
Yeah,
To her,
that
yeah.
she keeps complaining, so like here's the compromise.
It is funny what you're saying. It's like a chicken or egg situation. Like, asking for it. What's more petty?
Mm-hmm.
Asking for it or refusing to give
Or
it back.
refusing to
Right.
give it back.
Yeah, I think both are petty,
Yes.
but yeah, I don't know which one is.
I think it's
More.
more petty to ask for it
Mm-hmm.
personally, but I agree that it's very petty to not give it back.
Well, it's also, I think it's more, the asking for it is also because it's seemingly, something important that she wrote in the email is we both have new relationships. So he might be looking to move this Xbox to the new girl's place.
He's
Like,
probably
he's
trying,
trying
to,
to
he's
set
probably
himself
trying to
up.
re-gift it.
Right.
Oh God! Oh no!
So-
I got you a used Xbox.
Right. The whole, it's almost,
Broken in.
Right. Ready to go. Just
Only
ignore,
DVDs.
Yeah. Ignore those
crazy.
streaming accounts. I don't know. Like it's because I guess I don't even know if I would call it petty at that point as much as it's cheap, or like this guy really only cares about his gaming.
Yeah.
Candace, what's up?
This might sway your opinions, but she gave us an update. He promised the Xbox to his friend. That's the
That's the
only
friend who
reason they're reaching
texted?
out. Yeah, that's why.
Makes everything make sense.
Oh,
Which
he
also,
okay.
I was like also upset with a friend for having such an attitude. Like, when are you gonna
Hope
give
you're
it?
decent.
Yeah,
I agree.
When are you finally gonna give the Xbox back? When did he ask?
I mean,
That's crazy.
well, the gamers don't fuck around.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what this all like tells me. Like gamers really, they're on a drug.
Yeah.
Because the idea that so now this all like comes together because the
Yeah.
friend, it's not even petty of, it's more ballsy of the friend than
my
it is
God.
petty of the, like if I was the ex-boyfriend and my friend was like, what are you going to do with that Xbox you gave her? I'll be like, she's keeping it. And then he's like, well, I could use an Xbox. You don't want your, like, this seems like a manipulative friend because then the friend,
Yeah.
he's like, well, then you go text her. Hope you're decent.
And then he did.
And then he
And then
did.
he did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if I was the friend, I would be like, oh, that's a conversation between you two. I don't want to get involved.
Go buy
Right.
your own Xbox. It's
Right.
her birthday gift. All these people fighting over her birthday gift. It's
This
crazy
is-
to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't know who's petty.
I would say everyone is
Everyone.
petty. Everyone is petty.
Everyone's
I think the petty
The
list.
friend is really the most.
the friend,
yes.
right.
the ex-boyfriend, and then the person writing in.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. On
Yeah.
the list of
All petty.
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do one more.
All right. Want to read it?
They give back every card you ever gave them. Dear J&J, love this new segment. This submission goes out to Jordana.
Me.
A dedication. Sentimental card extraordinaire. I initiated the breakup with my ex. Among the items of mine they returned to me in the aftermath was every gift and card I'd given them throughout the relationship. From birthdays to holidays, congratulations, even postcards I'd sent while traveling. I personally throw stuff like that away unless it's particularly valuable, and I think the other person genuinely may want it back. What's your ruling, petty or prudent? Thanks for all you do. Epistolary Betch.
I don't really understand what she's trying to say.
Epistolary?
I looked it up. Epistolary is the writing of letters.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Okay.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
This is a
wordsmith.
That's an
high-end
SAT
pun.
word.
Yeah.
Wow. We all just.
I was like,
Didn't really hit
Right.
maybe the way that she intended.
I don't have the confidence to make fun of this person.
I
I'm
loved it.
Good for them.
yeah, this is a smart person.
Right.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Petty. That sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks. Just throw it away.
Right.
We gave the cards back.
I know.
Just
I would
throw
keep
them
it.
away.
personally.
Keep them. I
Put them in an old, in that old
shoebox or something.
shoebox or something.
It is so petty to me because if I had stuff given to me in a breakup, like cards like that, and like, you have to keep them. Like I get a card. I'm like, oh, I read it. Great. Into the garbage. Like
Not even like a sweet birthday card.
I'd leave it out for a half a minute.
Like, what's it say?
It'd be on the counter.
If it's like a basic birthday card, but if it's like a love letter or something.
You'd throw it out like a love letter.
I know that I would put it in a drawer to make the other person feel.
It wouldn't make
okay.
a move. Move to a new apartment.
It wouldn't. What would happen was I wouldn't even give it back to them. The next girlfriend would go, "What are these?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I forgot to throw those away."
What if you stayed together? Would
It'd
you
be in
keep
that
it? You keep
drawer
it
and-
for the length of the relationship,
Yeah, for eternity.
or you would throw it out?
I wouldn't throw it out because knowing it would upset the other person.
Yeah, that would kill me. I would be so upset.
I've never been in a
beautiful
card
letters.
relationship. Like I've never been in a beautiful letter. I don't think I have.
No one's ever written you a love letter.
No, what?
What?
I'm just realizing, never love letter. Have you ever gotten love letters and things like that?
Yeah, and I keep them.
You keep
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, I guess I haven't. I think I probably do have some old ones.
You do.
Probably do. Yeah, I think I do.
What drawer is that? Like what?
Under
Where
the
in the
bed.
house?
Under the bed.
Under the bed.
Under the bed.
It is under the bed.
Really?
Yeah.
not
Is
something- 'cause
this a
you're-
female thing? This is.
You're not going into it like weekly, so it's kind of like
Hold on. How? When are you going into
Well,
it?
I have to say, I went through when my grandma died a few years ago. I was like at her house and looking through some stuff, and I found these old like letters from my grandpa that were like the Valentine's Day cards. And I thought they were so
Really?
sweet.
That's
yeah, I'm so
cute.
glad I kept them. Now they're under my bed too.
You,
Oh my
have, you have other people's love letters.
Yeah, now I have other people's love letters, and maybe a picture of my grandma and an ex from like 1945. But like,
That is such a funny thing to
is
think that like an ex of your grandmother
is now under my bed.
under
That's
your
really
like,
funny.
and
Under
he's like, who?
some black and white, fucking probably fuckboy.
Yeah. So why does she
picture?
keep that picture?
Right.
I don't know.
That's
I
how
don't
she got
judge.
your
No
grandpa.
Wow.
judgment. No judgment.
Every time.
I kept it.
It's a good picture. We're gonna pass
looks
this
hot.
down for
She looks
generations.
hot.
Right. Unbelievable. This is like, this is one of those things that we're gonna get emails like, I keep it under the bed. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be,
Probably.
Yeah.
wow. I don't think there is an under my bed. I don't even have
There's
there's no space.
It's just the frame on the floor.
Right.
Nothing.
What if someone wrote you like a really nice letter about your comedy? Would you keep that?
Well, who?
Like someone in the comedy world that's a big deal.
Yes. Yeah, I would.
Like a nice, thoughtful card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep coming back to where would I put it? You know,
Under
like I
the
under,
Under
the
the
bed.
bed.
I know.
You gotta get it under the bed.
I got a message that was a very nice message that like brought me to tears about like, and I don't know why. I was just in this mood or whatever.
Like a DM.
It was an email that was like forwarded on from someone who watched the show, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a very nice. I think I told you about this, and I was like, wow, what a nice message. And then, off in the wind.
What if they had sent it to you written down?
I guess I would keep it, and it would really come back to where does this go? But I guess I think the way I'm living really doesn't give to a situation where letters are kept.
I guess men are just.
Are
less
you, like,
sentimental.
I'm like in like a
A
studio
vagabond?
apartment. I live here in the studio.
It doesn't fit in my backpack.
I shower in the sink.
Okay.
Out in the
I
office.
can see why you're not keeping it
Yeah.
track.
So I don't know. I'm like I think this is like very much, when I think of like women's apartments that I've like been to, even when they're renting an apartment, it is very much their home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like a very big difference to me. Like they have pictures up of them and their friends. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy.
Wait, you don't have pictures of you and your friends?
No, what would I have
Do you
a
have any
picture?
pictures?
Two pictures in my apartment.
Okay.
One of me, a painting of me holding a charcuterie that says Board Lord.
A picture of yourself.
Yes, this is. I knew this would be sad the minute I got into explaining this. Okay,
You and
then
your meats.
Yeah, me and my meats, and then there's a picture of Tom Brady.
Okay.
Like a poster
It's like a
or a framed
Candace said, "Ew."
portrait.
It's a frame. It's a cover of a past magazine where it's like Tom Brady
Is
on
it
the
signed?
cover. No.
Did you get this framed?
You like
Did you
picked
go
it
to
out
a frame
online?
store?
Actually,
art.com?
if we really want to get into it, it was an ex gave it to me because they worked in
And
a
you kept it.
magazine.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were like, "You like Tom Brady?" They're like, and I think where they worked, like they were changing offices, so they were like getting rid of stuff. And one of the past, covers was him,
Yeah.
and it was hung up. So
Wow.
she was like, "Oh, I'll take it." Jared likes Tom Brady, so I've kind of
So
kept
you
it
will
with me
keep
all
gifts.
these years. I guess I will.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
if it's Tom Brady.
That's interesting. I'd sooner keep the love letter than the gift, personally. The gift, I'd be like, fuck this guy. But
Really?
I think the letter is like a time when they wrote something nice about you.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Mm.
Was the letter written by Tom Brady?
I wish.
Well, Sashir, this was amazing.
This is great.
Thank you so much for
much.
coming on.
Thank you for having
We
me.
want everyone to go
August 15th.
watch. August 15th. So it's out. This is the 20th. It's
Oh, yeah.
on 800 Pound Gorilla. They have it's on their site.
Yes, there's like a pay what you can model because I self-produce this. So like, if you want to contribute, feel like you are part of the whole thing, you can. And then it'll be up for 2 weeks on the 800 Pound Gorilla website, and then on the 29th, it'll be free on YouTube
On your
Amazing.
channel?
on their channel.
On 800 Pound Gorilla.
I have nothing on YouTube, so
Well, go follow Sashir on all the platforms, and then you're going to love Sashir's special. She's hilarious. Been watching you all these years and so funny, so amazing. So everyone go enjoy. We did it again. We solved it.
We did it. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Boom.
The You Up podcast is produced by Jorge Morales-Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.